what the stock market is doing.
70 record closing highs so far for the Dow.
Blasting through a ceiling.
You have been riding the wave.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Sayyidah in Nisa.
Hey, Asgar here.
Namaku Denandra Abrar Khaizuran.
Hi, Annisa is here, and today we'll be talking about microeconomics and macroeconomics. So, for a quick review, economic is a social science concerned with the production, distribution, and consumption of goods and services. It studies about how we, as individuals, governments, even nations, make choices about how to allocate resources. Now, economics is divided into two fields. First is microeconomics, which focuses on the individuals and businesses, while macroeconomics concentrates on the behavior of economic as a whole. Now, why don't we watch this illustration to get better understanding about these two main topics in our video today. And this will be explained by my friends Abrar and Hilma.
Hi, this is Denandra Abrar. I'm going to explain about microeconomics. You can think of micro as meaning small. Microeconomics is the study focuses on the actions of individual agents such as households, workers, and businesses about the best use of limited resources. To illustrate, most people have limited time and money. They can't buy or do everything they want, so they make calculated microeconomics decisions about how to use their limited resources for personal satisfaction. Before using microeconomics to understand its use in this example, it is helpful to understand some of the basic principles of microeconomics. First one is maximize utility, meaning that individuals make decisions to maximize satisfaction. Then, when a person makes a decision, they also calculated the cost to ignore the next best alternative. Would be better financially if I quit my job now and back to get an MBA, and this is called opportunity cost. Next up is the diminishing marginal benefit. It illustrates the general consumer experience that the more you consume something, the lower the satisfaction you get from it. When you eat a burger, for example, you may feel very satisfied, but if you eat a second burger, you may feel less satisfied than you did with the first burger. The final principle is supply and demand. As it appears on the market, the interaction of supply and demand helps determine the prices of a product or service, with higher demand and limited supply usually making the price higher. Well, guess what? If you're ever wondering of why popcorn is so much more expensive than in the theaters, microeconomics can help you solve it.
Alright, Sayyidah Nisa is talking here. Now, what's about macroeconomics? Macro is the opposite of micro, which means big. As it's mentioned, this branch of economics studies the behavior and performance of an economy as a whole. It is analyzed entire industry and economies, not specific individuals or companies. It tries to answer questions like what should the inflation rates be, or what stimulates economic growth. To be highlighted, macroeconomics examines broad economic phenomena such as gross domestic product or GDP and how it is affected by changes in employment, natural income, growth rates, and price levels.
How can you tell whether a problem would be studied in micro or macroeconomics? Look at these examples. Suppose a man loses his job, and we want to know how this will decrease in income affects his consumptions. Then we have to study microeconomics because we're looking at the actions of one individual. However, if we're questioning about why do incomes grow, what is the cost of inflation for the society, then we have to look at macroeconomics perspective to get the answers.
What about now? Have you seen the differences? Alright, let Asgar helps you to resume some of the differences between micro and macroeconomics. Check this out.
Hey, Asgar here. As you can see, the first fundamental difference between micro and macroeconomics lie in their object. While micro studies the decision of individuals and business, macro analyze the decision made by state and government. Microeconomics focus on demand and supply, which is price analysis, whereas macroeconomics focus on income analysis. Now, if we look back at the definition of them, we can tell that microeconomic analysis is more way simple than macroeconomics. Micro help in developing policies, appropriate resource distribution at firm level, while macro help at economy level. What about the similarity between these two fields? Well, micro principles are used in macroeconomics. If you study the impact of devaluation, you are likely to use same economic principle, such as the elasticity of demand to change in price. Micro affect macroeconomics and vice versa.